Hello everyone. First of all, at the filming of this video, my channel is 2 subscribers away from reaching 100. So yeah, for me it's unbelievable. I seem like maybe 1 or at most 2 weeks ago I was so happy about 50, and it's almost double now. So I would really appreciate you if you could help me to jump over this seemingly very hard to reach for me 100 subscribers. I'm stuck at 98 now for 2 or 3 days. So tiny amount of subscribers would make me very happy. And what a better chance to talk about something that is also trying to leap and trying to prove something than the Bortnikoff, one of the newest Bortnikoff fragrance that I, thank God, enjoy. I mentioned it in previous videos. Oud Kinam. First of all, maybe I will talk about a new presentation. It's not often you see a house to improve their presentation to better. In my opinion, it's pretty rare. I always am thankful, for example, for Rige Ladore Adam, that he brought back the stones in the caps, and still wish they would be woody. And in my opinion, some older collection of his has better bottles, more interesting and beautiful bottles to my personal taste. But Adam is changing his bottles all the time, and you can't be perfect every time, but he is pretty damn good every time. Bortnikoff had few iterations of his bottles. You saw the second iteration in my previous video in Mas Habib. You saw first version. Yeah, it had wooden cap. Yeah, you saw the first version in Mas Habib. Then there's versions with metal smooth cap, which I still consider being good batches. Then we had the same bottles but introducing this screw cap that is, in my opinion, pretty ugly. But overall, this new presentation, in my opinion, is an improvement. I like this bottle very much. It has good heft to it, very strong bottom. I think it's polished because it's very clear and very nice to touch. The boxes are also pretty nice. We have some write-ups inside. As always with Bortnikoff, some paper with notes. So if I won't remember some notes, in this video I can look it up. So yeah, I can't congratulate Bortnikoff with success for the past 4 years, but I at least can congratulate him with this particular scent and this final new presentation that, in fact, I think is very nice and compact and overall feels high quality for sure. So yeah, I won't repeat my rant of Bortnikoff from the last video. If you didn't watch it, please watch it. The main gist is, for the past 4 years, in my opinion, Bortnikoff was going down the slope. Until this, let's say. What is this fragrance? You can read on his page. 2 main notes is rose, to be exact, from Afghanistan, and Kinam Oud. He, on the paper, he says there are 3 types of oud in the base: Oud Kinam, China; Oud Zhoushan, China; and Oud Kayo Yal, Thailand. When reading 3 ouds in the composition, one would expect this to be very woody, but it's not. Definitely not. Does it have Kinam inside? I don't know. I'm not sure, but from what I gather from some reviews and some talks by the same Russian Adam and some other people, the definition of Kinam in past years has somewhat changed a bit. Now I hear Adam talking about cultivated Kinam. I'm not sure, I'm not an expert on oud by any stretch of imagination. Maybe some more knowledgeable people can explain this better, or explain it to me in the comments, please. I welcome it. But up until now, I thought that Kinam is oud that was formed by who knows what reason and in longer time than actual oud. And like, from what I gathered even 5 years ago, nobody exactly knew what is Chiara. I mean, not what is Chiara, but why it's different from regular oud in sun profile. And now people are saying they're cultivating Kinam. I am very, very doubtful. I suspect maybe it's some kind of marketing thing, like oud in niche perfumery that are just an accord, no actual oud. Maybe with this Kinam they take some cultivated oud that has some facets similar to Kinam and just call it Kinam and call it a day. I don't know, please don't quote me on that, but what I'm getting to, I don't really smell real Kinam here. It has some medicinal facets in the opening. You can stretch it a little bit to the cooling effect of Chiara if you really wanted to, but if we compare this to, for example, Ansar Oud Kinan, then the cooling effect is night and day. So yeah, it's main point, this is not very oudi, and above all it's really not Kinamic. I am not saying Bortnikoff didn't use Kinam. I don't know, maybe he did. Of course, what he used here is probably called Kinam, but is it Kinam by definition of, let's say, people who were using Kinam 10 years ago? Would they call the oud used here a Kinam? I am doubtful. So yeah, now what else? Afghan Rose. When this fragrance was first sprayed, when I first tried it, when the bottle was full, I bought this new. I didn't get too much rose. What I got the most was vanilla, coffee, this oudish smell, and a little bit of rose and spices. But when I used some of this, air got into the bottle and rose showed up. Everything showed up, to be honest. At first this fragrance was pretty light, not so substantial, lacked in performance I think a bit, but with time, and it's not a long time, I got it maybe half a year ago I think, maybe a little bit more, maybe a year ago, something like that, and not soon after it came out, let's say that. By now it got more substantial, it is heavier, it is stronger, it is sadly sweeter. Dimitri says he has 2 or 3 types. I can check. 2 types of vanilla here, and let me tell you, yeah, vanilla is strong with this one. Personally, I'm not a big fan of vanilla in fragrances for obvious reasons. Vanilla is very sweet, and most regular niche perfumers overdo it with vanilla. And I also think that vanilla being pretty strong in this fragrance is its weakest point. But that's maybe more of a me problem. For most regular folk, it's gonna be fine. In general, people like vanilla in fragrances and in food and everywhere. People like something sweet. So yeah, my first maybe gripe with this fragrance, I would say vanilla is a little bit too strong with this one. But I don't think that's a big problem. It's kind of a problem for me because of this vanilla I wear it less than I would otherwise. But as overall composition, this is a lot closer to what I would call a good old Bortnikoff DNA. In my previous review I said this scent made me feel hopeful, and I will repeat this here. As far as past 4 years of Bortnikoff creations has gone, in my opinion this is probably the best in the past 4 years. The sprayer is also excellent. I won't spray it on my hand because I have something else here, but yeah, it sprays amazing. So it's very nice to see Dimitri improving the presentation using high quality sprayer, even I would say high quality materials compared to some reformulations that have problems in performance. This one absolutely does not have any problems, at least after a few months of getting some air into the bottle. As far as oud rose fragrances, because essentially this is oud and rose fragrance, as far as oud rose fragrances go, it's pretty unique. I have nothing here to compare it to, and I definitely smelled my share of oud and rose fragrances. I'm, as you know, getting tired of them a bit, but this is unique, and maybe partly due to the vanilla here that I have to be honest, I am not a fan of, but it provides, let's say, a little bit different twist to the scent, as does the Chinese ouds used here. When I say I don't think that the oud used here is kinamic, at the same time I am pretty sure, and I can smell a difference, these ouds are definitely of Chinese variety. What do I mean by Chinese variety? Well, the oud is not animalic, it's leaning green, as Kinam should, but any Chinese oud is leaning green. It has this defining mushroomy feel. If you ever tried Riche Ladora oud, history of oud collection, Chinese oud, you probably know what I mean. If you don't, Chinese oud has a pretty different profile compared to, let's say, Indian oud. It's not fickle, it's more woodsy, dampy, earthy, green kind of profile. You can, in my opinion, you could even get away with using Chinese oud and not, let's say, naming the fragrance oud something, because the facets of Chinese oud has these green aspects to it, green spicy earthy aspects to it, that it could just enhance other main accords in the scent and just not being the main player. And most of the time, if a perfumer uses a good amount of some, for example, Indian oud, the fragrance becomes all around that oud, because of the strength of it and the aspects it provides. With Chinese oud, it's not necessarily the case. And that's why, even though I can smell oud here, I wouldn't say Bortnikoff Oud Kinam is all about oud. I would say it's far more about vanilla and rose. So my main point here, maybe it's more of a vanilla rose fragrance with oud than Kinam oud fragrance with vanilla and rose. So yeah, of course, let's make things clear. It's still more mass appealing fragrance than, let's say, Lao oud or some older Bortnikoff creations. The rose, the vanilla sweetness, it's targeted to more people than the oud heads among us, but I think that's fine. It's not something to scoff at. If you manage to create something interesting for an oud head but still wearable for a regular person, as I said many times before, I think that's an achievement. I would very much like him to tone down on the vanilla and the sweetness, but I suspect if you tone down the vanilla and the sweetness, performance will suffer, and he absolutely doesn't want that now, I think, because he got plenty of his criticisms of performance, especially on the later batches of his old stuff. And even his old stuff most of the time didn't have a nuclear performance because, well, it's naturals. If you don't add synthetic musks or molecules, stuff won't last that much. Natural beauty is fleeing in every aspects of life, and scent is not any different. So yeah, if you are new to Bortnikoff and you watch my previous review where I said please look for the older batches because new ones do not represent the reality of what things used to be, but you just don't have time or patience to look for older batches because it's kind of difficult and you need to talk to people and all the stuff, and you just want to buy a Bortnikoff and to like smell what's up, you can buy this. It's not exactly as good as things used to be, but is much better than things has been for the past 4 years. The only problem that I see with this, it's I think the most expensive Bortnikoff on the page. It's $400, and let's be real, I don't think it's worth $400, but you can find it on groups for basically twice as cheap, like half price, $200, 200 euros, I don't know. It's definitely possible. Of course, you can always sample. I think that's the smartest way to go about it. Sample as much as you can, because full bottles should be reserved only for the best of the best for most people. In my case, I'm a little bit crazy. I like collecting, and yet fragrances that I really do not find any good, I just end up selling them within a week or two. Sometimes if I see potential, it takes half a year or a year, because like with Iris Gallia, I saw the potential. By Sarwood, I tried to like it but never did. So yeah, I find value in this composition. I am here to support Bortnikoff. I hope the best for his creations. I want him to improve. Is it actually an improvement if you want the guy to just come back to being great? Yeah, I just wish him to be back to his form. So yeah, if you think that's possible and you want to support the guy, I think from the store now, if you want to go to Bortnikoff, that's the only bottle I can recommend. All the others, just go for older versions. And I will talk in some future videos how to separate bottles from Bortnikoff, which are the older ones, which are the new ones, and what to avoid, what to look for. So if you want to know more about how to choose your Bortnikoff fragrance, please subscribe. So yeah, this will be the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.